I'd like to welcome everyone to today's roundtable discussion. We are glad to have such a diverse group of tenants here with us from across our campuses, across our categories, to talk about preparation for August markets. So we're going to talk about the factors that went into everyone's decision to open, and what those preparations have looked like, given the unusual times that we're in right now. I'm Kim Adams. I'm the Executive Director of Apparel Marketing here in Atlanta. And we'll do some introductions as we start the discussion, but let's go ahead and just jump right in. So the last couple of weeks have surely been important, as all of you have been determining how you want to approach August, whether to open, what to consider. Why don't we go back to that and kind of talk through what was that decision-making process like for each of you? Katrina, you're on the left again, so I'm going to start with you. What led you to make the decision to open in August, and what were some of the things that you kind of weighed and considered?
Well, I think I was kind of waiting to see what America's Mart was going to do, what decision there was going to be. We had opened up to the public or to our customers. Where prior to that, a couple of weeks into it, we were only open as far as us coming back into the showroom. So I was just kind of waiting to see how America's Mart was going to decide on that. And also with my brands that I represent, what their thoughts were. How did they want to move forward? Were they comfortable moving forward? I have a couple of brands that show with me here in the showroom, but also show in the temps. And so a big part of my decision was driven by the fact that those that were in the temps, no longer having that opportunity, wanted to be able to show. And so that kind of led it for me. And so we've just been taking one day at a time and moving forward and preparing, and expect that it's going to be, I really feel strongly there's going to be a big retailer market, but a market just the same, and customers have been calling. As they came into the showroom, I would ask if they were coming back for market. There were some that weren't, and some that said that they were. The brands themselves have been getting calls also. In fact, on my way in, one called asking a customer of theirs that they've had for some time, wanting to know, did they have to have an appointment? I think that keeps coming up, and for some reason, customers seem to think that they might have to have an appointment to come. So just assuring them that no, just be sure you have your mask and be ready to have your temperature taken and come to shop. And certainly those who come, I expect that they will be here to shop. They're not here just hanging out.
Got it. Doug, how about for you on the gift side?
Yeah, so we'd go through a normal, on this kind of process. Oh, by the way, it's Doug Cofield from Ivy Stone. We'd go through a normal decision tree on this kind of a process. I mean, it's gone from bad kind of to better and then to worse, right? The progression of the virus. So we had made the decision a while ago that we were all set to go ahead and open. Then with the spikes and everything else, we obviously did another level of assessment there. What we decided is primarily based on all the precautions taken at the market. Honestly, like if all the procedures were not in place, I'm not sure what we would do. Most likely we would not participate, but given the lengthy list of procedures and requirements, mask requirements, all those kinds of things, we feel like it can be executed. So to fulfill kind of the obligation we've got to vendors that show in our space, we're building a new space, so we're in the middle of building it anyway. So we're already down there doing all the construction work, and everything else certainly was a factor. But it comes down to, I think, not that everybody doesn't expect this, there will be a lower number of people in the buildings, and I think because of that, we'll be able to socially distance. I don't see it as being any different than being open every day. Let's say on a Wednesday in September. We kind of view the market the same way as long as the precautions are in place. So that's kind of the way we looked at it.
Kristen, what about from an apparel perspective? They're on 14.
Yeah, we're Carafina private label. We're on floor 14, and we'll be there next week. we're based in Atlanta, so throughout shutdown and everything, we were still going to the mart quite frequently and checking temperatures, all the safety protocols and everything just made us feel really comfortable about showing next week. We've also been in our stores working with brides, and we've gotten accustomed to the sanitizing, the wearing masks and stuff. So we feel really confident it's going to be safe, and so we're definitely going to be there.
How about what you're hearing from your customers? I know a lot of you have been calling for appointments and making those appointments. I'd love to know what you're hearing about those buyers that you talk to that are coming in. What are the things that are important to them, and then what are you doing to address those? Serena from Sagebrook, I know you had some, it looked like some connection, but I'm glad you're here.
Yes,
Do you want to
thank
take
you
that?
guys so much. It's nice to see everyone. Yes, I work for Sagebrook Chrome. I handle their marketing department. So we are seeing, I would say, people make appointments in person. Most of it is definitely the Southeast. And then we're continually working on the new construction for our new showroom. So we have this grand new showroom that we want to be able to showcase to anyone that's willing to come. And then also we're using it as an opportunity to book virtual appointments. So I think that with the use of Zoom as we are on now, people are going to be able to do that. We've also sort of, I would say, created a bunch of steps to work in tandem with a sales rep that may not be attending, and then like someone like myself who will be, manning the camera, so that we can also talk about new introductions and that sort of thing. But one of the things that we're doing about safety protocols, because we do so much home decor and we have 10,000 items in our showroom, invested in UV wands. So basically it is like a 12-inch wand that we will be able to wipe down an area as a customer wants to go into a certain vignette. So if we have back-to-back customers, which we hope that we do, we will be able to ensure that anything that they touch is sort of virus-free. So that's one of the things that we invested in. It was a relatively inexpensive thing. We just got them from Walmart. So if you guys are looking for UV wands for your showroom, the nice part about it, it will disinfect from a foot away. So that you don't have the cost of wipes and sanitation and that sort of thing, or sprays on any of your products, maybe if you have products that are delicate. So we're hoping that this will help to ensure our customers feel safe, and then also feel, be able to touch our products and not have to worry about things.
Yeah, and that's come up a lot as far as the need to touch product and how so much of our products are touch-based. So
Yeah, tactile.
yeah, Richard, what about speaking of touch-based and apparel? What about on your side? What are you hearing from the appointments that you're making? What's most important to buyers right now as they're considering whether to come?
Well, I mean, we have about half the appointments, less than half the appointments we normally have. And we're going to try to keep it by appointments. Walk-ins, we're not encouraging them at all, just because we wouldn't be able to control the amount of people in the room. But I've been coming down here for a while during the virus for the past couple of weeks, and I like the way the mart's handling everything. I feel protected, this temperature check and everybody wearing a mask. And so I think you guys are doing a good job. I really do. And I'm encouraging my customers that that's going to happen, and a lot of safety protocols in place. I think, for a while, my customers' biggest concerns were the riots, and now that's over. So, I mean, that was scaring them away as much, but, that's in the past. And I don't know. I think we're going to have August is always our most important show of the year. So, and kids, we come out early and we need that show. So we got to be here. So I'm glad you're having the show.
Brad or Fred for Link, what are you hearing as you're making appointments, and what are you doing to adjust or to allay any concerns that you're hearing?
I mean, we did an assessment similar to what Doug and his team did. And we're doing that daily, sometimes a couple of times a day with our sales reps, that the majority of which are coming in for the market. As Richard said, we've gone through a myriad of dealing with emotions and the health concerns and the riots, and whether it was safe or not. We've had people that have, and we keep telling our team and our customers, of course, via e-blast, conference calls, webinars, anything we can do, social, through our social media, private Facebook groups, to let people know that it is safe. We've had people anywhere from 2 people to 16 people in our showrooms since really the 1st of May. We're right at 3 months of going down there every single day, and have not had any issues, have not had anybody that contacted COVID on our staff or team. So yeah, we're happy with the Mart. We're just trying to get that word out as best we can, and to let people know it is a safe environment. We're doing all we can to promote the market. As far as appointments and so forth, we look at it as an overall probably 2-week period with the apparel and the gift markets of making appointments, whether the people can't be there in Atlanta or not, and working virtually, even from the showroom with our reps working from the showroom out. So knowing that right now it's, the appointments are way off, and we know traffic's going to be down, but we'll do the best we can to secure what's there. For those of you who are, I know we've got some Apparel Mart folks on the call. You can be reassured and tell your people, we have had a market. I mean, we had a market in June, and while the attendance was obviously very soft, and that's the smallest market on campus each year, the buyers that were there were buying, and the mood, I think everybody would agree, was awesome. It was generally upbeat. People were wearing masks, and that was in June. So we've obviously been through a lot since then. We all have, but it's a positive sign. We were very positive, and we're all riding this roller coaster. But the buyers that'll be there, they've gone through their own hurdles. So we think it's going to be very positive as far as the people that are there in attendance.
And this is, I'm going to just add something. This is Fred Ballard from the Link Companies. I'll just add one little thing that's maybe on a little lighter note of that is that they're concerned about food.
Where to eat.
Where are they going to eat?
Yeah.
And frankly, that might be the most common thing, all the unrest and the health issues, is food. What am I going to do about food?
True.
And so we're addressing that directly. And I frankly encourage everyone to do that and be willing to feed those customers. I don't think we're going to be overrun like we would be in a normal condition. So it's possibly affordable this time.
How about, as you're hearing this feedback and as you're taking in everything that's going on right now, any changes that you're making in your spaces? I know we've got larger showrooms and then some of you with more intimate showrooms. So I'd love to know, Katrina, what about you? Have you made any new processes or rearranging, anything like that?
Well, typically I have 4 different entry points, and I am considering, and it's going to be kind of a see what happens kind of situation, but to have one way in and another way out, kind of to keep it flowing, so that I just think it might make it easier in that way. But again, if I need to change that, then I'm pretty flexible with it. In terms of the layout of the showroom, I haven't, other than the regular change that we might make in just bringing new product in and setting it up, I haven't done anything different in terms of making the aisle wider or anything along those lines. I think that we're only 2,500 square feet, so unlike having a floor, we have a very intimate setting, but our limitation is much lower than some of the other showrooms too. So in terms of the number of customers we can have in at a time, which I thought was really helpful also for the Mart to do that, to go around and put the limitations on each of the doors. So that gave us some guidelines to follow, and it makes it easier when if by chance you're at maximum capacity, then it's easy to, a customer I think is going to be a little more agreeable when they see it posted, as opposed to you saying just arbitrarily, we have too many people in at this time. Could you hold on just a moment?
Got it. Yeah, makes it objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, what about your space?
We have a new online scheduling software, so customers can make an appointment with their rep in the showroom or on Zoom, a virtual appointment. So we're trying to meet the customer where they're comfortable meeting us. So, we're going to be there. We're going to be open. I have no idea what to expect. No idea.
Sure. Serena, I see you nodding. What are you guys doing?
We don't know what to expect either. I mean, we get so much, I would say, traffic from international. We don't think we're going to see as much international business, of course, because people can't travel. So we're going to have so many Zoom calls, I would say, with our international team. They're booked and double booked. And then we don't know what to expect, with, I would say, everyday sort of traffic. So we are, paying attention to all of the rules and regulations. We have a brand new showroom, so we don't know how the flow is really going to work, but we have so many more doors. So we're going to open all of the doors and not try and direct traffic so that people feel welcome. And if they wanted to come in a different entrance and they saw maybe congested area or people shopping, they could come in a different entrance and still do social distancing. So we're going to sort of work with that and try and be as flexible as we can. We've got a great team. They've been doing this for 5 years, and we're all really, I would say, flexible and how we're going to sort of adapt to this, I think, as everybody has to be throughout this. And we're excited to see people again and see where it goes. So,
Kristen, how about for bridal? You've got a unique product, the way it's laid out, and often have models. I know. I'm sure that's a consideration too. What have you had to adjust as we get ready for August?
Yeah, so our showroom is basically really open, so all our products along the wall. So we really haven't had to adjust our layout or anything like that. We've decided not to have models this time around, just didn't feel like it was something we wanted to do at this point. We have put in a air sanitizer in the showroom, so it runs constantly, it purifies the air. We'll have a door for people to enter, a door for people to exit, like some others were saying. Just keeping everything really clean. We're doing virtuals. So for our stores that can't be there, we've been doing virtuals in our office, and now we're going to be doing virtuals down in our showroom. So just like everyone was saying, meeting our customer where they are, and just hoping we get to see a lot of them face to face. But if not, we can do it on Zoom or FaceTime from our showroom.
I had a question. I didn't know if IMC would be sharing of those showrooms that are going to be open. So if buyers were, I would say, looking at, a certain type of decor, we would know who else on our, I would say, not our competitors, but our other family members that were open. So I was just curious if that, because I don't know that some people are not going to be open, but I didn't know if there was a list of people that were going to be open.
Yes, the answer to that is yes. So both on the apparel side and the gift and home side for both markets, or all three markets that are going on, we are working on publishing those literally today or at the latest on Monday. So it's been part of the reason we wanted to talk is because we know this has been a question for all of our showrooms. And so we've been working with our leasing teams to get those lists together. It's interesting, we've had a number of people who initially weren't going to show and then have since decided to show. And it's part of what prompted this discussion because we wanted to understand that a little bit more. So the information's been a little fluid this week, but we will definitely be posting that and sharing it. Obviously, it'll be on our website for you, but then also pushing it to buyers too, so that they know who's going to be here, who they can reach out to and make appointments. And we've encouraged them to make appointments. It sounds like from the information gathering that we've done, most of our showrooms are not requiring them, but we know they help with, density that you've got to manage your occupancy limits. And so it's definitely something we're encouraging where possible.
Kim, I did want to add, if I could, just that that I think everybody on this call, it's been mentioned multiple times already, but a lot of us are doing digital initiatives across this too. So when customers are inquiring about coming, we've localized the markets completely. So we're not getting any employees on planes or anything to get there, but it's so on that made the travel easier. But there's a lot of customers who are normally there for a week that are not going to be there, that are from further distances, that they can contact people. The people are doing Zoom or FaceTime walkthroughs, all that kind of stuff. I think everybody I've talked to is doing the same thing. So I think, just having both elements, just getting in touch with the market itself. We'll certainly be open. The 11th floor is all brand new in building 2. So it's just Ivy Stone and Appleman Chauvin on the whole floor. So there's no glass and no entrances. So it'll all be open. And same process with Symblis on 16 will be open as well. So, and appointments aren't necessary, but recommended. And I think just getting everybody comfortable with the fact that there's going to be digital as well as live in-person visits is a good thing.
All right. We are at close to 1:45. Any parting advice or anything else that you want to add as we get into market?
I think we've kind of touched on everything. I mean, there's some great
Yeah.
ideas that have come up. So I think the social media, the marketing piece of it, getting that one message out is really majorly important.
I have a question. I'm not sure, you mentioned it earlier. What is the protocol for showrooms wearing a mask? Is it mandatory throughout the whole building?
Throughout the whole building. Yep.
Even in the showroom, it's going to be in individual showrooms. It's not up to the showroom owner. It's up to the, it's mandatory, correct?
Mandatory across campus, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Somebody was saying that the serving food, we opted not to serve food this time because we don't want people taking off their masks. You know, we sit across in apparel, we're at a table where we sit directly across from them. I don't even want to serve them water. I don't even know how they're going to drink water. You know, I don't know how to handle that one.
It's really tricky. I think we had a question. Let's see.
I don't serve a lot, but I do try to serve something. So I think what I will serve is all going to be packaged, you know, in some way or another where, you know, they will open it and it's something they can take with them.
Right.
So.
And actually, before we go, for those of you who have been coming in, is there a recommendation? Is there a go-to place for food that that you've gone to while you've been in?
Well, the food court across the street is, most everything is open. So, you know, our team's been going over there just like they normally do for lunch and bringing it back. But, you know, again, it would be good to have that assessed by the MART and, you know, whether Ray's and the normal places are open or it's takeout only or whatever. We're trying to get that out. I know the e-blast that went to us today from the MART, it just basically just sent a general, it was kind of like a general thing for downtown, almost like if you just Google what restaurants were open. It wasn't real specific. So maybe if we can get a little bit more detailed, you know, Willie's, Chick-fil-A or whatever are all open. I know we've had deliveries. We've had Jimmy John's and pizza and things like that.
Chick-fil-A is delivering.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is delivering, correct.
Yeah.
So maybe just try to help people see that as well.
Got it. So something curated, it sounds like, kind of a refined list of what's immediately around campus.
I'm sure those restaurants are probably hurting as well. If you had a list to share of those who are looking for business and they want to work with us, and they maybe even prioritizing, you know, that we're having this market for these days and we're looking to service and buy everything. So I think that'd be a good idea.
Sounds good. We can definitely do that.
What is the plan for updated, well, not updated, maybe just up security for the market? I know we will have something, and but I don't know what the specific plan is.
Yeah, so we have a couple of components to it. Obviously, we've got an Atlanta police precinct there actually on our campus, and that's always been, or it's been there for a long time. So we're pleased to have officers literally on our campus, but we do have a private security company as well that we use. I'm sure you've seen, and we've actually increased the staffing with them. And then the other thing that we're doing, you know, one of the things that we may have done this in the past, but it hasn't been there hasn't been the same demand, but for anyone who feels uncomfortable walking to and from their hotel or, you know, anywhere right downtown, we're happy to provide an escort for that buyer or for an exhibitor. So if there's anything that comes up, our security team will be quick to respond, and we'll have those additional bodies. I don't know exactly how many, just offhand, but I know that, you know, since June and since things have been, you know, there was some unrest in June, and even if we're not feeling it today on campus, we want our buyers to feel comfortable. And we want our tenants to feel comfortable too. It's not just about our buyers. And so
that's a very helpful suggestion. Do you know anything about the procedures of going about that? How you would...
So yeah, feel free to ask anyone in security, or you guys should all have security can be in this. Sorry, this is specific to Atlanta. I know some of you are also in Las Vegas, but in Atlanta, you can dial extension 2553 to reach our security team at any time. you should see them visibly, but if you don't see someone and you need to reach security, if you see something suspicious or you want to arrange that escort or have a question, 2553. And we've got it posted a few places, but again, we'll make sure that that information is visible, that our team is visible. And so, yeah, the full number, thanks, Allie, is so 404-220-2553 if you're not calling from your showroom on campus.
I was actually on a meeting with Charles yesterday, so I know he is hiring 28 Atlanta police officers. So they will be out of their office around campus during market.
Yeah, the feedback, we really do appreciate it. It helps to have discussions like this and hear it firsthand. So it's always welcome, and we do appreciate it. All right, thanks again to everyone who made this happen on very short notice. We appreciate your insights from across our categories and our campuses, and for making the time. So thanks so much. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kim. Thank you.
Have a
Allie,
great show,
appreciate it.
everyone.
Thank you.